Tonight, former President Trump's one-time attorney and the man who was once described as America's mayor turned himself into the Fulton County Jail just hours ago. Rudy Giuliani has been indicted on 13 counts, accused of trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election here in Georgia.
And he is the most notable person so far to be processed at the Fulton County Jail on Rice Street. So at this hour, we know 9 co-defendants have already gone through the booking process. As of today, the list includes lawyers Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis and former state GOP chair David Schaefer. Now, the biggest name on the indictment, of course, is former President Donald Trump. He's expected to arrive at jail tomorrow before noon. All 19 of the co-defendants are required to turn themselves in by Friday at noon.
We have team coverage on all of today's developments. So let's begin with Beth Yates live outside the Fulton County Jail with more on what Giuliani had to say today. Beth?
Well, I have been following Rudy Giuliani from about 11 o'clock this morning when his private plane landed at the DeKalb Peachtree Airport. We left there and then followed him to his attorney's office, and then eventually he landed right here at the Fulton County Jail being booked and released. Take a listen.
I do not in any way admit the truth of those allegations. Those allegations are totally false.
11 Alive cameras were rolling as Rudy Giuliani addressed reporters after being booked and released from the Fulton County Jail. And he didn't just make his thoughts clear about the charges against him, but also the district attorney, Fani Willis.
Fani Willis will go down in American history as having conducted one of the worst attacks on the American Constitution ever when this case was dismissed. She has violated people's First Amendment right to advocate the government, to petition the government for grievances, like an election they believe was poorly conducted or falsely conducted.
Giuliani was recently indicted on 13 counts. The charges include violating Georgia's RICO Act, soliciting of the violation of oath of office, making false statements, and conspiracy to impersonate a public officer. Prior to turning himself in, 11 Alive also caught up with Giuliani's attorneys, who described the bond agreement made with the Fulton County DA's office.
Confirmed that a bond agreement was reached at $150,000. Mr. Giuliani is presently in the process of surrendering. We expect that the process will move efficiently and that it will all be done within a short while.
Now, Giuliani also told us that he spoke to former President Trump earlier today and that both of them are confident that their case will be dismissed. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Beth, thanks a lot. By the way, Sidney Powell also turning herself in today along with other co-defendants. And 11 Alive's Doug Richards is live at the Fulton County Jail, where a total of 7 defendants have turned themselves in over the past 24 hours. Doug?
Yes, alongside Giuliani, 6 co-defendants quietly entered and exited the Fulton County Jail, and all of them passing up the opportunity to talk with the reporters waiting outside. One of them was former State Senator David Schaefer. He's accused of spearheading a scheme to replace legitimate Democratic members of Georgia's Electoral College contingent with Republicans pledged to try to elect Donald Trump. Kathy Latham also turned herself in. She's seen in surveillance video, allowing Trump operatives to enter the Coffee County election office in 2021, where video showed them scanning secure computer systems. She's accused of tampering with Coffee County's voting system. Kenneth John Cheesebro also surrendered to Fulton County's jail. He's accused of strategizing the disruption of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. And co-defendant Ray Smith was the only one we saw today. Photographer Stephen Boise spotted him rolling down a window as he exited the jail to chat with a deputy. Smith is accused of lying to a Georgia Senate panel about alleged election irregularities in the 2020 election. All those folks came and went quietly, and still we have a sizable contingent of co-defendants due to come in between tonight and Friday afternoon, one of whom will get a lot of attention tomorrow. Live at the Fulton County Jail, Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
All right, Doug, thank you. Meanwhile, 11 Alive's Molly Oak joining us now from the Fulton County Courthouse. And Molly, this is the first stop for these defendants' attorneys. Most of them at this point have been able to secure bond agreements with a few still outstanding.
Yeah, 15 of the 19 co-defendants, in fact, have reached agreement and had bonds set today. That included defendants who had the second and third highest bonds we've seen so far. Here at the Fulton County Courthouse, former President Donald Trump's once lawyer Rudy Giuliani's bond was announced at $150,000, the second highest behind Mr. Trump's $200,000. A lawyer and ally of the former president, Sidney Powell, received a $100,000 bond today. Prosecutors say Powell was part of the group that met in November of 2020 to look at options to influence the election results in Georgia. Another lawsuit says Powell was involved in getting a computer forensics team to go to Coffee County and copy data from the election equipment in January 2021. The former Coffee County elections director, Misty Hampton, also had her bond set today at $10,000. Prosecutors say Hampton was in the elections office in January when a group copied software and data from county elections equipment. She's also accused of letting two men who actively questioned the election results access to the office for hours. Now, along with lawyers today, we've also seen plenty of protesters outside the Fulton County Courthouse ahead of the expected arrival of the former president tomorrow in Atlanta. For now, reporting live, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
Molly, thank you. This story is, of course, changing very rapidly, so make sure you stay connected with 11alive.com for all of the latest developments.
And folks, we got some breaking news.